As we see these starters introduced right now, something I'll definitely be watching tonight. The biggest key to the game, you could say, is which team will have their way tonight on defense. Both teams want the other to play isolated, but in different ways. Illinois obviously wants to keep the ball away from Florida State's front court, Myers and Baldwin. So I won't be surprised on that side if they double them in the post or try to cut off that high-low offense or the help often provided by Timpson or Valenzuela.
Oh, absolutely, and we see here we have two teams that like the three-guard look here, but we'll be excited to see this tactical matchup that we've got between these two teams, these two coaches that know these squads well. We've got an experienced Florida State side coming out onto the floor this evening. Fighting Illini bringing out a younger team, but once again, they like to play very differently, and we should be in for a great contest, George.
Yeah, both teams love to play the inside shot. So on both sides, you want to make the guards have to do the heavy lifting. For Florida State, the likes of Morgan Jones and Sammy Placis, and then for Illinois, maybe if the inside doesn't work, we'll see that experiment going forward for the first 5 minutes, and then maybe let Illini cook if that doesn't work on the inside for the Illini.
Absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see for the Illini. We see Eva Rubin coming in. That potential X factor, we know that there are 7 6-footers on this Florida State team. They like to play physical. They like to be they're rather aggressive on the inside. So it'll be interesting to see what we get from them and how the Illinois Fighting Illini can respond.
Of course, Peebles and Rubin, as you mentioned, starting for the Illini on the Florida State side. Bianca Jackson back for the first time in 3 games, back coming off an ankle injury, but she will get the start from the bench as we get set for tip-off right here. Center stage, center court right here in Champaign, and we are underway as Sarah Majetti gets it. Majetti back with it now, off the screen for Baldwin. Now trying to drive inside, but cannot. Gets it into Baldwin from the free throw line. Shot no good. Fight for the rebound. Not the first time we'll see that tonight. And Bostic gets it back, goes right back up the floor. And a turnover. That's something for Illinois that they need to work on.
They've got to work on those unforced errors, those mental mistakes that they do not want to make against a team like Florida State. We just saw in that first possession, the Illini are going to be forcing Florida State not with a lot of easy shots to be taken. They're going to keep them on the outside. We were talking about this before the game. 1 or 2 things could happen, and it looks like they're going to elect to not let that many shots get through.
Tried to go inside to Valencia Myers, that high-low activity, but Illinois sniffed it out and back the other way. They come. Driving inside is McKenzie off of 2 good scoring games. Bostic now goes inside, a little too strong, but saving it is Peebles, and they will reset. Bostic, no. She took a lot of those shots in pregame, a lot of those longer and mid-range and some threes in pregame.
We see a lot from Bostic. She likes to be one of the first people out on the floor for the Fighting Illini on game day, and so it was interesting to see that. We'll see what kind of threat she poses from range this evening.
Nye fakes it, takes it, makes it. First points of the evening.
Good work by Nye there and from the Illini as a whole, as we can see on the quick transition, though.
2 offenses that love transition, certainly, and Morgan Jones right there. And a steal immediately, but unable to convert, is Bajetti.
Another one of those unforced errors early for the Fighting Illini that they'll look to work those out of their game.
2 turnovers in 3 possessions, and Adalia McKenzie will get to the line. McKenzie coming off a season-high 11 points in her first start in the loss to Middle Tennessee. And now she will get to the line. We just talked about it in terms of, will they turn to the guards? Will they try to go inside? And it seems like so far it's a little bit of both in terms of first and second options early in this game.
It would be ideal for both of these teams to keep the other guessing what they're going to do offensively. We saw Eva Rubin drawing several defenders toward her on the offensive side for the Illini, but now here she's trying to be a threat defensively, but an easy look inside for the Seminoles there.
Baldwin right there, again, that high-low game between her and Myers. They love to play that game. And a 3rd turnover for Illinois in 4 possessions.
This is a pace of play that we haven't seen that much from the Fighting Illini throughout this year. So as they try to find that rhythm, we've said once again another mental mistake, an unforced error. Once again, as they settle into this game, they'll try to work those out. But Florida State can very quickly score a lot of points, so they'll want to get those out as soon as possible.
Once again, going inside, trying to go inside, but unable to is Baldwin. Now Jones trying to drive. She's been the hot hand over the last few games in the mid-range. 10 on the shot clock. Back out, a 3, no. And Bostic will chase down that rebound. Bostic coming off of 11 boards herself. And now Leoni with it, trying to make something happen. Much more off-ball movement, but another turnover, 4th for the Illini. And coming back is Florida State. Inside, and that's Courtney Weber.